where will our artistic journey be today? Well, I've started this sketch just in pencil before I start with colour, but this is a photograph I took. It's in a place called Bath, depending on where you're from. I think it is in Somerset. If you let me know in the comment section if you know where Bath is. Like I said, I think it's Somerset, but we did stop here on the way to Cornwall a couple of years ago. So it's a really nice historical city. It's a student city. There's loads of universities around, and it's just really there's lots of Roman architecture. If you notice from the picture that I'm painting, just the buildings are quite unique, and I'm using yellow ochre and just mostly yellow ochre for this point. This is my first wash, so it's going to be quite pale, and bearing in mind as well that it is going to dry just a bit lighter as well. So I do have some nice shadows on the buildings as the sun is coming over the left hand side. So you got these big cast shadows coming down the side, so that will be hopefully nice to do. Yeah, just trying to simplify this as I always do. It's not so complicated. I must confess, I did have a picture that I wanted to do for this painting, and it's the Levenshulme baths. If you saw my last video, you'll know what I mean. I did get prints done of that, but when I got them home and looked at them, I sort of changed my mind just because of the complex nature of that painting. Let me know if you've ever done anything like that. You decide to do a painting, you maybe get the prints done, and you're excited about the painting, but then when you get the pictures back and you see the detail, it sort of puts you off. So I chickened out. I did change my mind, and I went for something a little bit simpler. So even though I've been painting for a long time, there are some certain scenes that I will almost run away from, but I think I will go back to that. I will do that sketch. It is a really nice building. It's derelict, it's abandoned. There's sort of trees growing out of the roofs, and it is really nice. I like those sort of buildings rather than these new builds that are brand new brick and all that sort of thing. I just think there's more character to them. So I will get round to doing that. Maybe next. I'm not sure. But for this one, we're in Bath, and there is, I guess, an old cinema. Here in the scene, you can see it has cinema written down the building, which is quite nice, and just a few people milling around this scene, and so I've included a few of those. I'm not copying the reference photo exactly, so that's not something I usually do. I just like the way the light comes down onto these buildings, and fairly similar to the last painting I did here on my channel. If you've not seen that, then you can check it out, my last video. And yeah, it's just really nice, a nice play with light in this scene, and I'm going to try and get it as good as I can without copying exact. I mean, these people in the scene, they're not exactly the same. It is a little bit of a challenge to include people in the scene, but I think it was Pam who mentioned painting people in landscapes and townscapes, so I'm trying to include more figures and people in the scenes. Sometimes it can ruin the painting, but I'm hoping that for this one it will add some character and some life as I add these people, and there's some nice shadows as well coming off these people. So that always does create a nice, interesting look. You can see just from the feet, I'm going to the angle where the lights come in. So the shadows are coming across there. And this is quite accurate. This is from the reference. I'm using that for these shadows, these cast shadows. So it's quite nice, and it's just a simple mix of neutral tint for that. I am using my Windsor and Newton. Once I do get my other palettes out, I seem to sort of hold on to them for a little while. But I am running out of the yellow ochre, so I do need to top that up at some point. I do have some tubes, by the way, some tubes of my Windsor and Newton. The ones that I get to replace is normally the tubes. So I will be squeezing some out into my pans and refilling those pretty soon, I think. So they do need doing. So the shadow of the buildings is mostly neutral tint and Payne's grey, maybe just a touch of that. You can use any mixture for the shadows, it doesn't really matter too much. You're either going to get a warm shadow, which I usually use a little bit of red in there, maybe a cad red, and possibly a French ultramarine, just to give it that sort of purpley cast shadow, which is quite nice in these scenes. Or you could go for the cooler tones of shadows, which is more, you could use blue and neutral tint or Payne's grey, whichever, and they both work just fine. And so I'm using a variety of brushes, not too many, but this is my number 6 pocket travel brush by Jackson's. I really like this brush. It's got a really nice tip on it. So this is it's allowing me to get some finer details, and also it does provide a nice big wash as well, because it's quite a broad brush. But I do like the light on the buildings. Can you see the two sort of shapes of three shapes that I've painted, and it's where the light's hitting the buildings. So that's one of the things that I really do like to paint when it comes to it. If I've got a lot of light hitting a building or that sort of thing, that's the thing that attracts me to painting these sort of scenes. You got the buildings, which are quite nice anyway, and the windows, which are quite nice. I just drew them in pen, and then just I will go in and tidy those windows up a little bit more, just to tidy it up really and make it a little bit more neat. And I've got this character just walking into the scene as well, and this character I think it's a woman, I'm not sure, but this is a character that's in sort of the shadows, so it's going to be quite dark, unlike the other people in the sunlight. But yeah, just keeping things nice and simple. Usually, if I paint a person in the painting, sometimes it can spoil things, but I think it's working quite well. I do want this to be quite impressionistic, and it is a nice street scene. And I think this is the focal point, the cinema building. So I'm just going over. I did write it in pencil first, then pen. And then I'm just going over because it is a red sign, cinema. So I'm going over it with cad red, and when that dries, I can go in and add the shadow side to the letters. And I just feel like this painting needed a little darker sky. Just get that blue. This is cerulean blue, by the way, so this is a nice summery blue, summer skies, so it does give a nice sort of feel to the scene. And because I've darkened that blue, just intensified it a little bit, it does add to that summer sort of feel. Let me know in the comment section if you agree, if it does look like a summer reference. So I'm just was waiting for things to dry then, just going in with a little bit of detail with my drawing pens now. This is a size 0.2. So just etching in a few details on the doors, just adding a few more windows that I'd left, and just generally just tidying things up. You can see the reference just on the left hand side. So yeah, it's been a fun little painting to do. There's a couple of billboards on the side of the cinema. I don't know whether the cinema advertisement, film advertisements, whatever, but this sort of billboard, those plastic sort of billboard things that popped on the side of the wall. So there's a couple of them, just filling them in, and then I think there's a sign, maybe a street sign, I'm not sure. But I'm just adding these little details, and do like the street furniture on this one. You can see the lamppost on the left hand side, and then also the barriers as well, which give chance to get those nice shadows going into the scene. So it's quite a nice scene, and hope you like this one. I hope you do find it useful. I am trying to help if you are beginning with watercolours. I do try and inspire, help people, and if there is something that you do struggle with, do drop it in the comment section, let me know. And do let me know if you have been to Bath, if you've visited Bath. It was just a nice stop for us on the way to Cornwall. We stopped in Bath. I think it's about an hour and a half away from Cornwall, or 2 hours, so it was quite a nice place to stop on the way, and I really do enjoy it here. I think I do want to go back. There's a lot of really nice architecture, buildings, there's a lot of Roman influence, and there's even Roman baths in the city centre, so that was quite nice. We did walk past it. It's just not far from this scene. We didn't go in, but we could have booked it. I did look into it, and I think it was £20 each, so it's quite expensive, but if you've had a Roman bath, then let me know as well. But a really nice place. I hope to get back sometime. We are going away on Saturday. We're going to be in Northumberland, so I think my next video may be something to do with Northumberland, maybe castles. But yeah, I'll catch you in that video, the next video, and thanks for watching.